back at the Ashtead Record Fair. Join me as I go around the fair seeking rare, unusual items. Plus, I'm going to be speaking once again to Dealer Dave. Here we go. Is this it? They've locked us out. So I'm back in Ashtead at the Ashtead Record Fair. I'm going to go around and seek out some more items. You guys seem to like these videos, so I'm going to keep doing them. Busy fair today, very busy. There's Warren. Hello, Warren. You recognise that Dee? He was in the Ripley video, wasn't he? Okay, so let's start on this first one. What's this? That's The Cure. Metallica. Okay. I think that was a fan club Cure single, actually. Okay, what we got here? Okay. Oh. I thought this was going to be a picture disc section, but it's not. It's a random section. Okay. I'll go over here. What we got here? Okay, so this is the New Order Joy Division, the Full Smith's Cure factory label. Okay, have a quick flip through. Not really interested in those. So we're going to carry on in the punk section. Was it £2 an item? Okay. What was that? Don't know what that is. Do you see the old sticker on the top right? Okay, Elvis Costello. Europeans. Oh, gosh. The Flying Lizards. Now, I might be wrong here, but I think the Flying Lizards, tell me if this is wrong, I seem to remember that on, I think it was Tiswas, they had a competition to become one of the members of the band. Is that correct? And then I think they split up. Am I making that up? Tell me if I'm making that up. I might be making that up. I don't know. Right, okay, let's come through here. Motley Crue. What's that? Super Soul, Jimmy Castor bunch, was that? Yeah. Quite a mix of stuff in this box, isn't there? Okay, Elton John there, Captain Fantastic. Right, what we got here? £1 albums. Yeah, no, let's try and find you some more interesting. Oh, Tasty Metal. Yeah, no. Oh, hang on. Samantha Fox. I think she only did one. No. For do you want to please me? And again, yeah. Oh, look, that's one of them Top of the Pops. What, 40 quid? I didn't know she was on the Top of the Pops album. They're quite collectible, those, aren't they? All that pink vinyl. I don't know why I'm showing you this. It's just I'll show you interesting stuff, different stuff. Well, actually, I do quite like Samantha Fox. I think she's quite a nice person. She's quite good fun. So there you go. If you're a Sam Fox fan, there's a load of her vinyl. That's a first for the channel. Don't you worry about that. Right. And here's those Metallica. They're the fan club ones. That's the previously unreleased. Yeah, that's the dealer told me to feature that because it's rare. That's the. I think that's a. Hang on, I'm trying to read that. Yeah, a back-to-back edition. When I was young, I used to say the cure for the cure is no cure. But I actually really like the Cure now. It's fun, isn't it? As you grow up, your music tastes, your tastes change as you grow up. They're a good band. Okay, right, so just showing you the stuff behind the counter. I always like to do that, as people say, oh, why don't you show the stuff behind the counter? Well, I did. There you go. Right, so there we go. The Move, Arrival. Okay. Now, I must just mention, there has been... oh, hello. Uriah Heep. Oh. There has been delays on this channel due to personal reasons. Human League, love Human League. So apologies for delays in uploading stuff, but we got there in the end with this one. Okay, we got there in the end. And we're going to have a chat with Dealer David a bit as well, so that'll be good. Also on the channel, check out, I have... Oh, Jeff Lindsay. Did he have to redo his CDs as Jeff Lindsay? I don't know. Anyway, if you check on the channel, I have done a episode with Martin Degville from Zig Zig Sputnik. So if you're a fan of that, check that out. Okay, and there's some Roxy music. Oh, speaking of Roxy music, I'm going to be having another interview with Marco from Adam and the Ants, who, as you may know, has written a book. Right, so let's go through here. Soundtracks. Always like showing soundtracks. I saw Tommy live on stage when I was a kid. My parents. What's this? Here we go round the mulberry bush. I recognise it. That's Barry Evans. That's Barry Evans from Mind Your Language. That's currently being shown on TV at the moment, one of the channels. It has a warning as well. It has a warning before the episode. It's quite sad if you look up the story of what happened to Barry Evans. But anyway, let's carry on. 2001. Chariots of Fire. The world is full of married men. Okay. And paint your wagon. There you go. Right. And there's behind the stage. There we go. It's always some interesting stuff when you go up there. Oh, hang on. What's that book? Hang on. I saw a book there on the left. Caught my eye. Go back. Let's go back and look at that. There it is. Burning Britain, the history of UK punk, 1980 to 84. Okay, I'm interested in that. Okay, ask the dealer to pass me that. That's all right. Okay. Quite interested in that whole sort of crass early 80s era of punk. I'll get that. It's a £5, bargain. Yeah, I'm interested. You sort of there you go. Look at that, folding money as well. No card machines for me. Don't you worry about that. Right. Yeah, what was I saying? I was saying that whole era, because obviously I was growing up as a teenager in that time, so it's a bit of nostalgia. Some of it's pretty awful when you listen to it. Some of it's still quite good. Always a load of conflict stuff there. Turning Rebellion. Okay, what's that? I remember that one. Okay. Let me know if you're into punk, who your favourite acts are. Do you like Conflict? Do you like Crass? Do you like the Pistols? I had that album back in the day. Let me know. Get some comments in the chat. Get a little bit of interaction and stuff going, all right? Chelsea, Antipasti, Addicts. Oh, God, I could see there. Oi, never did it for me. Never did it for me. If it did for you, great. Not for me. Okay, so what's this? Queen, The Complete Works. Okay. Clapton, Donovan. And there you go, Behind the Wall. Can you see there? You can pause that. Some people do pause that and go through that. Okay. Was that the Kubas, was that? Television Personalities, The Creation, another go at The Creation. And a little Phil Collins there, I saw. Okay, what's this? Oh, yeah. Deceptive Bends, 10cc. There's a painting of that in Dorking on the museum. And they've got the sign in Spin Sounds. If you go on the channel and look at some of the episodes, I featured that. So here we go. That's the Slade 83 album. A few bonus tracks on there. Slade in Flame. And what's this? Mark Bolan, Work in Progress. Not seen that before. Okay, Pilot, the Singles Collection. 15 quid. 2 discs. And look at this. Yellow, the CD Single Collection. 25 quid. And it's got Let Me Cry, previously unavailable 5-inch single. CD single. Yellow have just released a new track which is made up from an early vocal from Dieter. If you're not into Yellow, that won't mean anything to you, but if you're into Yellow, just telling you. And there's Jimi Hendrix Studio Sessions. How many discs is that? 6 discs, limited edition. Okay, nice. All genres, okay. So we have all sorts here. 40 quid that one. Tamla Motown. Ronettes. Okay. Z Cars. Okay. Elvis Wooden Heart. Splatter vinyl. See that? Rich Kids. Okay. What's that? It's got a little catalogue with that one. Do you see that? Okay. Alright, let's have a little chat with Dave. Dave, how are you?
I'm fine, mate, thank you. Yourself?
Brilliant. Last episode did fantastically well. Are we up for a chat today?
We are, mate.
Excellent, look forward to it. What's this? You've got a change of
Change of direction, yes.
a bit, yeah?
All right, mate.
Change of direction here?
Well, no, I just had the opportunity of buying some 90s stuff.
Yeah, half work.
And they all come from the same collection. And there's a great story about it, and I'll tell you about it when we meet up in a minute.
In our special room.
All right, in our special room.
So we head off with Dealer Dave. We have our little chats out the back because of the music. We used to do it here, but we used to get interrupted in the toilet, so we use this one. Here we go. Is this it? You're kidding me. That's unusual. They've locked us out. So we're in the kitchen. I don't know why. What's this here? I don't know about that. Right. So nice to see you.
Hello, Paul. You all right, mate?
Yeah, good.
Good.
So, what have you got for me this
Right.
week?
Well, I think everybody knows that my first love has always been 60s soul, but in particular Tamla Motown label.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about when you collect a label, and a lot of people do collect labels, is that you're not really, you can't really discriminate what you buy. If you're not a collector, what I'm saying to you now is completely unfathomable. If you collect a label of a record company, you have to buy what's on the catalogue.
Yeah, regardless of quality.
Yeah, regardless, absolutely regardless. Now Motown, let's start with the potted history of Motown. They started roughly 1958-59, and they were essentially aimed at the black record buying market.
Yeah.
Right, they were based in Detroit, so they was essentially a local label selling to the local black population. Right, up until 62, 63, they had very limited success, but even in that time, they dabbled with other forms of what we term to be non-white music, non-black music, sorry. So believe it or not, they did things like the twist. They put out records.
Chubby Checker, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that was Chubby Checker, but on Motown, they had a band called the Twisting Kings, who had an album out. They also dabbled with sort of 60s pop, a la Beatles, so, you know, what we would know as the Mersey beat. They sort of did a couple of things along those lines, mainly to jump on the bandwagon of what was happening at the time. But essentially, they were a black record company selling to a black population, right? What Berry Gordy, who was the founder of Motown, he always had his eye on the bigger picture. So what he could see that the market was not necessarily the black market, but the white middle class market, because he saw that's where the money was, selling to affluent middle class people. That was what he wanted to do. So, although Motown and the accepted Motown sound probably peaked in my eyes around 1965. Probably the peak period for what we know as the Motown sound was from 64 to 66. They had tremendous success after that, but if you were a purist of Tamla Motown, the Motown sound is based between them 3 years. Right, but bizarrely, during the time that Motown sound was at its peak, Berry Gordy had his eye on a different market. He had his eye on getting his groups into cabaret bars. So you get Supremes, you get the Temptations, you get the Four Tops, you get all them groups. Not only did they manage to get prestigious gigs in some of the biggest cabaret bars in America, like the Copa, like the Rooster Tail in Detroit. That's where he wanted to see Motown go. And during that time, you'll find most of the Motown albums had records that we regard as standards, right? So they would have show tunes, you know, the Supremes, the Four Tops, the Temptations. Most of their albums in the mid to late 60s would have had records that we regard as standards, things that Sinatra would have sung or people of that nature. Right, so in my eyes, 1965 was the peak. In my honest opinion, it peaked in 65. A lot of people might argue that, but that's what I believe.
Put your comments in the chat. We'd love to read it.
But during 1965, arguably the peak of Motown, Berry Gordy,
Jimmy Brown.
Berry Gordy still had his eyes on the bigger prize. Although they were selling millions of records at that particular time, he still could see an even bigger market in the white middle class. So for a period, there were some amazing artists that got signed to Motown solely to try and grab a bigger share of the record buying public. So the first one I'll show you is
The Bigger Your Heart Is, Tony Martin.
right.
The Harder Your Fall.
Yeah. Now this came out in the middle of 1965. Tony Martin, for people who don't know, was a 50s crooner. He was a white 50s crooner. He was quite big in America at the time, but this isn't his first record on Motown either. He had a record the previous year called Talking to Your Picture, which came out over here on Stateside label, but it was part of the Tamla Motown umbrella. So Tony Martin was essentially a 50s crooner. And that was issued at exactly the time when Motown was probably, the Motown sound was probably at its peak.
Right, we're going to have people sitting down because I've just seen the price of it.
Right? So we'll come on.
I've just seen the price of that. We'll leave that, but if
Right.
you're standing up,
What we'll do, we'll come on to price at the end.
yeah, they're going to need to be sitting down. I
Right.
think.
This is one of the other things. Now this is a bloke by the name of Dorsey Burnett. Now Dorsey Burnett was in a band with his brother called the Johnny Burnett Trio, and in the 50s they were essentially a rock and roll trio. But this is a very country flavoured record. Now, not for any stretch of imagination, you can understand why this got issued. Right, this is the only record that Dorsey Burnett had on Tamla Motown. Why it got released, no one knows. But once again, we can only assume he thought it was an avenue to bigger and better things. Why he did that, I've no idea. Why he did that, I've no idea. And another artist that is generally regarded as being a middle of the road artist is a bloke, Billy Eckstine. Now Billy Eckstine had a bigger, longer career on Motown. I don't know if he regarded as more acceptable. But Billy Eckstine, to my knowledge, had 3 albums on Motown and 2 or 3 singles. So his career on Motown was a bit long. But once again, Billy Eckstine goes way back in the 50s, and he had a bit of a career after he left Motown. So I think he went on to Stax and that in the 70s. Now, if these records were on any other label, if they was on a 50s label like Columbia or one of those HMV, any of them labels, you would probably be paying about £5 or £10 for them records.
What are they worth on Motown?
Right. Now the thing is, coming back to what I said earlier on, if you collect a label, now I collected Motown twice. I collected Clapton twice. I collected it first, then I sold my collection.
Oh!
And then I felt so naked, within a few months, I started again. So I collected every UK Motown record from 1959 to 1971. When, to me, that's when I felt Motown. Oh, they had hits after that with Stevie Wonder mainly, Marvin Gaye, but essentially Berry Gordy had gone to Los Angeles. He started up film companies, so he's as a record company, they really were trading on past glories. So coming back to these, if you collect a label, regardless of what the record is, these have got to be in your collection.
Come on.
If you collect Tamla Motown.
Tell me.
Now these records never sold. These 2 records never sold, which makes them highly collectible. Now,
So there's not many about?
No, very, very rare. Very, very rare records. They are both in really nice condition as well.
And that's a sample.
Well, it's a factory sample, yeah.
Come on.
But
Spill the beans.
Tony Martin will cost you £400. One sold, if you go to some of the pricing websites, that sold for £600 in the past. So £400 is a bargain. It's a bargain. The Dalty Burnett are priced a little bit cheaper at $350. Right. So
$750 for the 2.
yeah, $750 for the 2. Now,
Or $700 for cash.
also, yeah,
So it's also, I've got to do this. You know the last video we did?
we did, yeah.
There's a bloke that wanted to buy it. Did he get in touch with you?
I heard stories that someone wanted to get in touch with me.
Yeah, he didn't get in touch.
Well, he didn't get in touch with me.
Right, so let's tell people who are watching the channel, if you want to get in touch with Dave, you've seen something and you think, I want to buy that, what you do... Oh!
My phone's all right. It's only my wife, I expect.
Oh, it's the wife. Okay, that was the wife. Ignore it. Oh!
Oh, that's my sister.
Oh. Okay, she'll be gone in a minute. Right. Hang on.
That's all right, go off a bit.
Right, so what they need to do, if they want to get in touch with you, go to the Ashtead Record Fair Facebook page and send them a message, and then Dave will get in touch, because we don't want to give his email and phone number, because they get all the weirdos calling him. But yeah, so do that, and that's the thing to do, right?
Lovely.
So tell me about the other collection you had behind you.
Sorry? Oh!
You had the
yes,
craftwork and all that stuff.
The thing about record dealing and record collecting is you got to know when to buy and when to sell, which is an obvious thing to say. Although I'm not particularly comfortable in going out of my comfort zone, I did have the opportunity recently of buying a collection of 90s albums. Now, anybody that's got any understanding of record dealing or record collecting know full well that the 90s is probably the most buoyant market as we speak for buying records.
That's because there weren't many though, was there?
That's exactly it.
Because there's a David Bowie one, which is hundreds, so there's only a few hundred made.
Generally speaking, ballpark figures, you could say 95% of all recorded music was sold on CD, whereas only 5% was sold on vinyl.
Yeah.
So you could get an Oasis album on CD for £5.
Yeah.
But you're going to pay £200-400 for an album on vinyl.
Yeah.
That's how rare they were. And this collection I got, and the bloke who sold this collection, I got it through an auction, bizarrely was advised at that time, that's the story that was told to me, he was advised at that time to buy records on vinyl at that particular time as an investment.
And it worked.
Now, who had the foresight at that time to do it? So those records that I've got there, they're almost unplayed because he bought them, and there was several, I think it was about 100 records that he bought. Yeah. Oasis, Blur, Manic Street Preachers, Garbage, all the 90s bands you could think of.
Yeah.
Cardigans, Nirvana. So he just bought them as an investment.
Have you sold any today?
I've had a really poor day today.
Hang on, last time it was poor.
Yes, well, Ashtead's that type of fair. Because if you've got, without being too pretentious, if you've got records that are somewhat more expensive, this is probably not the ideal fair to sell them.
Yeah, they want to be at a car boot sale, don't they?
Well, without being disrespectful, yes, they probably are a little bit.
Yeah. So have we got any messages for the viewers? Because people love watching your content. Have you got anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, can you buy some of my records? The thing about me and records is I know some people might have a little dig, but this is my hobby.
It is a hobby.
It's not my living, right? And I could spend my money buying classic cars or jet skis or,
holidays.
Well, I've gone on holiday.
You do that
tomorrow.
actually.
I've gone on holiday tomorrow. So
okay, right. Let's skip that.
But it's just what I do. I'm of a certain age now where I've got to keep my brain ticking over.
Yeah.
And record dealing is the way I do it.
It's good fun. You meet people.
Yeah.
Make a couple of quid.
Yeah. Well, not as much as I'd like to make.
Right. Well, it's been a good chat. Unfortunately, we're in the kitchen. God knows why maybe they did it on purpose.
You think
they might have done it. We don't want him going in there.
I think you're a conspiracy theorist.
Thank you. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
After you, mate.
Right, I hope you've enjoyed this episode at the Ashtead Record Fair. While I'm here, I have set up a new YouTube channel called Car Boot Bounty. It doesn't really feature records, but it features me going around car boot sales, charity shops, what's the other thing, and jumble sales. I chat to people. I feature dogs a lot in the car boot ones. It's just a lot of fun. If you like my narration, commentary, give it a go. Also on the Skyaaz channel, this one, the previous episode I did was a Martin Degville live in Brighton episode. Very proud of that. Check that one out if you're a fan of Sputnik. It's good fun. But for this one, I hope you've enjoyed the Ashtead Record Fair. Sorry it was a bit late sharing some more stuff with you very, very soon. Thanks for watching and catch you next time.